Okay, so what can be a trademark and what isn't a trademark? This is a little bit trickier than it might appear. So I'm going to use this package again as an example. So for one thing, it has to be something that is, number one, has to be words that would be recognized or usable. Well, it doesn't have to be words. Let's just get that there. But we're talking about some word trademarks in this video. Trademarks can be all kinds of things, but for this video, we're talking about words. So it needs to be words that are not just generic. So, and it also needs to be words that are not too descriptive. And it needs to be words that are recognized. The important part for both of those is they has to be recognizable, recognized by most people as a brand name. And not as just saying something about the product or the service. So there is some gray area in there. So this package actually has some good examples. So Sun Chips, that has a logo. It's not a thing that existed before they made this up, right? It's not like people were saying, I really am in the mood for some like for instance, potato chips. Potato chips is a thing. That's just a generic. Sun Chips is not a thing. It's a brand of a thing that Frito-Lay came up with. Okay, so that is pretty clearly a trademark, a brand. 100% whole grain is telling you something about it. That is unlikely to ever be able to serve as a trademark because it's just something that's on lots of packages, and no one would think that that's a particular brand of chips because it says 100% whole grain. It just means that's something about the chips in here. They're 100% whole grain. I would say, and where it starts getting into gray area is things like Harvest Cheddar. If it just was cheddar or cheese flavored, that's just telling you something about the product that's in the package. Harvest Cheddar, that's where it starts getting gray because what is Harvest Cheddar? That's not sort of a known thing. It may become a known thing if lots of people start saying Harvest Cheddar as the name of a flavor, like avocado green or something as the name of a color. That can start to catch on. And this is one of the reasons why trademarks, you take a snapshot of time, but just like with language, what was a trademark 20 years ago is not necessarily still a trademark. Escalator used to be a trademark. Jacuzzi I think jacuzzi might still be a trademark. Aspirin used to be a trademark. Those things are not trademarks anymore because they just entered the language. So, and by the way, no one gets paid when they use them. So get that out of your head. That's a different thing. Trademarks don't work that way. All right, so Heart Healthy is another one. Just the words themselves, unlikely to be seen as a trademark, but you notice how Frito-Lay has put that they've made a nice little logo in there. The logo probably would serve as a trademark. All right. And then I think, is there anything else on here? Those are sort of the main ones I wanted to point out. Keep in mind that part of what makes it work as a trademark is the way it's appearing on the package, like this little logo. And part of it is the words, like Sun Chips or possibly Harvest Cheddar, as opposed to like 100% whole grain. Okay, and then we already talked about how Frito-Lay on the back of the package. I don't think you can read that, but it's just the labeling on there. That is not trademark use. It's just the information required by law on the brand on the package. Yeah, and then there's a bunch of other things on this package. You'll notice the Facebook and Instagram logos. Where are they? Obviously, those are recognizable trademarks, not Frito-Lay's trademarks. They're appearing there by license. They have the right. Oh, there's even a certification mark here, a special kind of trademark, which I don't know if you can see that, but it's a special kind of mark that says that it's certified for having certain kinds of characteristics. Anyway, there are some different things about what does and doesn't serve as a trademark. Hope that was helpful. Catherine Cavella, IP Works Law.